Transmitting to you from Old Heart Radio.
Prepare to have your bones chilled and your hairs raised. It's the WacArnold's Brothers podcast.
Welcome home.
It has commenced. Can you believe it? Another beautiful episode of WacArnold's Brothers. God. Okay, moving on.
It's more of like a slightly beautiful like episode with like half of your face is beautiful, but the other half is like scarred and covered with a mask. Phantom of the Mall, Eric's Revenge. Probably, there's been, you probably couldn't even count how many fucking adaptations of Phantom of the Opera there are. But this is easily the best.
Oh yeah, dude.
Fuck,
this is so good.
Fuck source material.
Yeah, they definitely took it they took some liberties with the story a bit.
That's putting it mildly.
Yeah, for real though. Oh my god, dude. But this is such a good find, man.
Did you know that this movie was shot at the same mall that Chopping Mall was filmed at?
Oh my god. When I was watching this, I've watched it like 3 times now. Like it's
amazing.
So fucking, I'm like addicted to this movie. But but like holy shit, dude. Like that, I was watching it one of the last times and I was like, this and Chopping Mall, man, like that's a double header I want to see. But that's so fucking crazy.
Especially the scene, there's like a chase scene. There's like a scene where Peter's in one of the elevators. And I'm like, dude, that elevator looks so familiar.
Right.
Yeah, it's the same mall. But yeah, Phantom of the Mall, man, it's way better than it has any right to be.
Yeah.
There's cheesy moments, but there's some good kills, some great effects, and just some of the names attached. We have Derek Rydall, who plays Eric. Recently, he hasn't done much, but recently we did Popcorn, and he's in that.
Oh shit, that's fucking right.
Yeah, because he looked super familiar, and I was like, So the guy that plays the mall owner Harv, Jonathan Goldsmith is his name. He is most well known for the Dos Equis Most Interesting Man in the World.
Oh, holy shit.
He's super young with no facial hair in this movie, and yeah.
Holy fuck, dude. That is incredible in itself.
We also have Rob Estes, who plays Peter, who was in a bunch of random shit, but I feel like he's most well known for a show in the 90s called Silk Stockings. Okay. That was about like these 2 detectives that like deal with like sex crimes. And the only reason I know about the show is because back in the day on Sunday Night Heat, WWF Sunday Night Heat, it would get plugged. They'd have like coming up next today, Silk Stockings, Detective so-and-so investigate a sex ring, But we also have Tom Fridley plays a small role of Justin. He's in Friday the 13th, Part 6.
Oh, shit, yeah.
And then Ken Foray's in it.
Yeah, boy.
No introduction. Who else is in it?
Dude, I mean, it's just alone though. That's it. You also have Morgan Fairchild. She's the mayor in the movie. I was like, rubbing my eyes. I was like, is that Morgan Fairchild? And
she's one of those people where I super duper recognize her face, but I can't like necessarily name something she's been in.
No, I'm the same way. Like, I definitely recognize her person. You know what I mean? But like, naming something, the only thing I can name that she's been in is Phantom of the Mall, Eric's Revenge.
Apparently she was on that show Dallas.
Okay.
But I don't know. I didn't watch that show, so
yeah. No, yeah, that one definitely passed by me.
I forgot about her. That's right. Thank you.
But then we also have, I feel like this was like, when was this in his career, but Pauly Shore.
It was his first horror movie.
That's what I was like, this had to have been his first. Like,
you know what else? it's easily, and I'm saying this as someone who actually enjoyed a majority of Pauly Shore's work, but this movie he's easily the least annoying that he's ever been in any movie ever.
Yeah, it's wild. It's like he's so tame in this movie in comparison to some of his other like characters.
Yeah, there's like the one scene where he like shows his ass or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But besides that, yeah, he's not like, you know, just super fucking in your face, like down your throat type shit. So it was interesting to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, you should look up his filmography really quick because I'm not sure. Like, because obviously it was like had to have been one of his first roles because it was like the early to mid '90s when he was, you know.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like,
son-in-law and.
So yeah, it had a shockingly stacked cast, is what I'm realizing here. Like,
yeah,
that shit is fucking wild. You know, like Ken Foray is like somebody you immediately recognize when he's in a role.
Oh.
But the Dos Equis motherfucker, that guy, that's such a surprise to me. Like, I'm just getting such a kick out of that.
I did not recognize him at all. You know.
No, but as soon as you click on like a link to like, you know, like on Wiki or whatever, as soon as you click that link, it just shows the fucking most interesting man in the world. It's just so crazy. It's wild. Yeah, Pauly Shore, man. Like, I agree with you where it's like I've gotten enjoyment out of so much of his work. I gotta.
Oh
admit.
yeah.
But
his career is like kind of interesting. Because, you know, there's been other actors in comedy that have, like, I don't know how to put it, but it was just like, you know, he just had this, like, it was like one of the quickest, like, burn bright and fade away type stories where he just had this, like, string of hits where he was, like, super big. He was everywhere. He was all over MTV, yada, 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 and then just, like, basically disappeared. Encino Man will forever be my favorite Pauly Shore movie.
Yeah, I mean, Encino Man's fucking great. Like, it's kind of hard to top that. I mean, obviously Biodome's like a really fun one, but Encino Man takes the cake because it just has such a fucking funny plot. No, it's like as far as I can tell, he did a bunch of TV leading up to a couple of like random rom-com movies, all in '89 though. '89 was when he started getting into movies, it seems like, and that is where Phantom of the Mall is set. So that's kind of funny. This is one of his first movies in general.
Yeah,
who would have fucking known? But okay, so this movie takes us on a quite the ride. I'm always a sucker for movies set in a mall. Like,
absolutely.
I realized after watching this, like,
it's just such a great setting because it's like when you're a kid, when you're younger, that's like that's something you'd like dream about, is like being locked in the mall and getting to, like, you know, just hang out and go in all the stores when no one's around and, you know, play in the arcade and dick around, you know.
Yeah, but, exactly.
It's just a great setting.
Yeah, and it's just I always think about this when I watch a really good mall movie. Like, you know, I would waste a time travel trip for sure on going back to like peak mall culture and just experiencing that.
Fair.
You know what I mean? Like, what a fucking, like, I don't know. It seemed they always make malls look so fucking awesome.
I just wish, you know, because we obviously, to the listeners, you know, we grew up in Wenatchee when it was a lot smaller, and our mall there, like, it was a joke. It was just a one level. However, when I first moved to Wenatchee, they did have a really awesome arcade.
Aladdin's Castle was in that thing. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah. But I wish that, you know, we could have grew up, you know, maybe in like California mall culture, you know what I mean? Where it was like a lifestyle, you know?
Yeah, for real, dude. But damn, man, you know, I'll take this over, you know, if this is all I got.
Yeah.
You know, so this movie, like, it really opens up and you're already You're already creeping and crawling in the mall. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, right away. And it's kind of like this really funny scene in a lot of ways because it's like, you know, this shadowy figure like creeping in through the vents, and he gets into like a department store or whatever.
It's like a sporting goods store.
Yeah, sporting goods store. He finds like a leather jacket at one point and like takes it and puts it on, like, you know. But when this, it's like the security guard moment, the first kill of the movie, which is like really fast into the movie if you think about it.
Yeah. What else does because you don't see the guy, but what else does he grab besides a jacket?
What else does he grab? I don't know. What else does he grab?
He grabs a fucking crossbow.
Oh my god, that's right.
And some arrows, and you're like, oh shit.
That's right. I was watching this like the second time, and I was trying to remember why he had a bow later in the movie.
Oh, okay.
It's like,
yeah, because this
explains it.
Yeah, it doesn't come into play for a while, but yeah.
I was like,
it's a bold choice.
Yeah, dude, for real. Oh my god. Yeah, so he's just like, so it's just this guy just pilfering around the mall late at night, you know.
He also takes like just the head of a mannequin, and you're kind of like curious as to why, you know. Yeah. But continue.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what's he doing there? But then, you know, like I was saying, there's this like quick interaction with a security guard in the store, and like it's just so funny how like he just immediately, you know, freezes and just like stands there, you know,
trying to be like a mannequin.
Trying to be a mannequin. The guy just keeps getting closer, and he's just like, I don't like, you're not a mannequin, man.
right.
Like, who you fucking fooling, kid? But it's such a quick like death in you know, right into the movie. But like, you know, because the mystery shadow guy shanks the motherfucker and then drags his body away.
Yeah, and for anyone watching, it's kind of a weird random opening, because it really has no bearing to do with the rest of the movie. And the kills get way better from here.
Oh, for sure.
So, but yeah, then it just jumps into like you know, the opening credits with seems to be like a flame effect in the background.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Okay, so they pretty much there is no mystique to this movie by the title. Okay, so you know, like you already can guess by the title that whoever this mysterious figure that just killed this person is Eric. So like, there's like just no mystique to it. That's one of the only flaws that I can say about this movie.
No, I 100% agree. It was kind of, I mean, as funny of a choice as it is to name the movie, you know, Phantom of the Mall, Eric's Revenge. Like, it's like, I keep scratching my head, like, why didn't they just do Phantom of the Mall?
Oh, the mall, yeah.
You know, like, it makes
100%, because then it would have led, yeah, because you just, yeah.
And then also, to be honest, one of the strange things is because of that like premise that they push in the movie, you know, the plot they push in the movie, like it's like it almost feels like you're plopped into like the second part of two movies at some times, and so
okay,
yeah. Because like sort of, anyway, so it's just kind of like it is an interesting weird like film in that, but I do think all of that plays into like, you know, why it's now like a fucking fun movie to watch, you know.
Good point.
But yeah, so after all the flames fade away, we get to like you know, back to the mall in the daytime, where they're having like kind of like a quasi opening ceremony. Mm-hmm. You know, and this is where you see
the Midwood Mall. Yeah,
the Midwood Mall.
Yeah, we don't learn his name quite yet, but this is the mall owner. His name is Harv Posner, and yeah, he's kind of just talking about, you know, yeah, it's just a grand opening of the mall, and We also, very quickly, there's like interspersed, we get introduced to one of the main characters, Melody, who seems to has just earned a job as at a restaurant. We also meet her friend Daisy, who just got a job at as a salesperson at a clothing store.
Yeah.
They celebrate and hug. And then we also get introduced to the mayor, who comes up and has a speech about, this upcoming 4th of July ceremony that apparently is going to be happening.
Yeah, exactly. And so you kind of you really do get set up with a handful of characters pretty quick there.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's, it's just kind of an interesting quick run through of people. I feel like, but then you kind of end up meeting a couple other characters, Pauly Shore's character, and at the
because real quick, after the mayor talks about the 4th of July ceremony, you get a POV shot of. And it's Eric. Okay, yeah. Eric's the one coming through the vents. We get a POV shot of him in the vent system.
Kind of lurking.
He slips into a sewer manhole and circles July 4th on the calendar. And he also takes the mannequin head and kind of busts a piece off to make Phantom of the Opera. It looks like the Phantom of the Opera mask. And then we get introduced to Buzz, who seems to be working at a Froyo type establishment. Years before Froyo was an establishment.
Yeah, that's what I kept thinking. I was like, frozen yogurt? I don't know if that's a thing right now. Yeah, it is kind of it's kind of funny. It's like the villain assembly. Well, not necessarily the villain, I guess, but his character kind of assembling his costume really quick, basically with the mask. So you really get hammered home the Phantom of the Opera.
Oh yeah.
Vibe.
Yeah, as if it wasn't clear. Yeah, absolutely.
But that motherfucker's running around them vents like Shockma, dude.
Oh. Oh man, what a visual. That's amazing. He really is though. There's even scenes where he's crouched down, crawling, skimpering through. Yeah, dude. He is fucking Shockma.
It's so good, dude. So good.
I needed that. That was good.
God. So you end up, like we were just saying, you end up getting introduced to Buzz, which is played by Pauly Shore.
Yeah.
And he's he immediately is tries to kind of flirt with the Melody and what's her fucking name? Susie. While getting him some froyo. He's just a playful dude. That's it. But he also happened to put something in one of the yogurt cups.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. And you get a scene later where you maybe understand where it came from. But yeah, they each order a yogurt, and the one that Susie gets has an ear in it, and she thinks that it's a prank. And you're kind of that was really random. But like I said, something happens later where it's the aha moment. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But as they're enjoying their yogurt, the mayor rolls up. This is where we get introduced to the other real main character of this friend group. His name is Peter, and he is a photographer. And we have to mention that while this is going on, Eric is also seems to have all these different points in the mall, whether it's a vent cover or a grate or whatever, but he has all these different points where he's basically just constantly watching Melody and seeing what she's doing, essentially.
Oh yeah, totally. Like he's just like it's like in so many scenes throughout this movie, you'll have a scene with Melody interacting with somebody, and then it'll be a shot of like Eric like looking through some vents, so you kind of get the vibe that he's like you just said, he's like pretty much always trying to spy on her while she's at the mall.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like you said, Peter gets introduced here, and then eventually Melody splits, and Peter kind of follows up, and like this movie all of a sudden takes like a hard dive into plot, because like he's just like, hey, I recognize you, and she's like, yeah, and he's like, I shot you, in terms of being a photographer, I shot you like the day you were involved in this terrible house fire. And they brought you into the hospital or whatever, and she's just like, oh, okay, good memory.
Yeah, she talks about like seeing a man with a religious symbol in his ear and Eric getting murdered, kind of like, yeah, it's pretty heavy.
Yeah, it's just so out of, like, you're just like, whoa, what the fuck is going on? Like,
and this is before they even know each other's names, because like, you know, she said, like you said, you kind of get some plot dumped in our laps. Then they introduce themselves, and then she opens her locker and seems to find some flowers inside, the orchids, and we get our first flashback of the movie.
Yeah, her and Eric having some smooches while he gives her some flowers.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude,
it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But Susie and Buzz then walk up, and Buzz pulls Peter aside. They kind of split off, and Buzz essentially tells, Peter, that he needs to lay off. Essentially that, she's going through a lot right now.
Yeah. And Peter kind of pushes back on that a little bit. He's like, well, she can tell me that.
which is fair.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, but I think both people are doing the right thing in that conversation.
Totally.
Buzz is like, yo, just be heads up. Peter's just like, okay, I heard you.
Yeah, then we get a quick interaction between Harv and his son. Harv and his son Justin. Justin's wanting to apparently borrow a car, and Harv flat out tells him, no, you've already wrecked 2 cars. So it kind of seems like, Harv's this, rich businessman with this punk delinquent son.
Oh yeah. If I recall correctly, he's wearing a denim vest and as well as like perhaps some oh no, it's not denim, it's like a cutoff, like, and it's funny because he yells I'm like,
oh, he has a denim cutoff.
well, of course he's got to be badass, but then he yells like, when he gets told no, he's like, fine, I'm gonna take mom's car, and like,
yeah. What a little shit.
Storms off. Yeah, dude, it's ridiculous. And then he kind of almost bumps into Buzz and Peter on the escalator as he's like running up it or whatever, like a fucking idiot.
Because this is where Buzz is kind of continuing with, what he was saying. He brings up how Eric and Melody were like the perfect couple. And how they were just like, so in love. Yeah.
But then this is all kind of cut in with like there's more scenes that kind of follow up with Eric sort of shortly right after that. And it's a pretty cool sequence.
Yeah. Not only do we get our first kind of like glimpse of his disfigured face, which looks fantastic.
Yeah.
But what else happens?
He happens upon like a technician of some sort, like working on one of the fans probably for the AC. Mm-hmm. And he just fucking rushes the cat and like grabs him and smushes his face into the fan, so it just gets mutilated. It's fucking gnar.
Dude, that'd be a fucked up way to die, because even like, like getting your hand like smashed into a fan is painful, but like a bladed fan like that, it would literally probably rip your face off like like a meat slicer at Arby's. You know what I mean?
It's truth though. It's fucking great. And then the Harv, like they show Harv kind of standing sort of like, on the mall floor, like nearby, and he almost like, it's almost like he hears the commotion, going on behind the vents, but probably just thinks nothing of it.
Yeah, and then we get a really great shot, like what I'm saying with these effects. They're great. We see Eric like dragging the body away, and if you pause, dude, the guy's face is just like mulch. It's like it's awesome. But yeah, there's some kills that happen later in the movie, that are very much so justified. But with this kill, it almost seems like it was just a kill that happened out of necessity because the guy was in his domain and he could have gotten caught. So this guy just seems to be more of like a wrong place at the wrong time sort of situation.
Yeah,
but meets a very grisly death.
Yeah, that's the thing. Even wrong place, wrong time, but he's still like, he gives it to him, dude.
Yeah,
but,
and then we and like you said, this movie is just a ride because we go from a fucking amazing kill to just a wild sequence of, there's some, of course, honestly, I wasn't expecting there to be any nudity, but it's the 90s. I should have known. There's some 90s, but we basically have this sequence where there's girls changing in a dressing room, and one of the fucking security guards is like super perv, and has installed a video camera in there, and it's just like saying all this really creepy shit, like, "Oh, yeah, baby, come on, baby," like, and these are like fucking. So these could possibly be high school girls that he's watching.
Yeah, exactly. It's it's just such a pervy fucking moment. But then Harv comes in while this dude's basically doing this, and like he tells him and the other person in the room.
Yeah, his name is never said. I don't believe. But the name it's credited as Acardi is his name. But yeah, Ken Foray, Whammo, there he is, playing a security guard. And Harv comes in and mentions that there's some weird knocking in the G section ventilation duct, and asks them to check it out. So the perv, they argue about it, and the perv ends up leaving to do it, and we get another shot of Eric having been watching this from a vent, and it just so happens that two of the girls that, like I mentioned, were Melody and Susie, that were in the dressing room. So
that means something, man. You're on the shit list now. Like,
I mean, rightfully fucking so.
Yeah, dude. Well, so the whatever the fucking pervy guy's name is, he ends up like venturing into the vent system, basically.
Well, first he has this another really creepy line where he as he's walking to he's walking through the mall, and you see that Eric is watching him from like a different vantage point, but he actually ends up coming across Melody and Susie and goes, "Hey girls, you want to pull my chain?"
Yeah. Dickhead.
Yeah. But yes, he ultimately ends up heading into the vents and hearing some of this knocking that Harv was speaking of.
Yeah. And so he's like creeping and crawling around, and then you get this quick shot of you presume it's Eric's hand knocking on the inside of like one of the vents, so he's clearly luring. He seems to be like luring the person, or just doing it on purpose at least. And that leads the security guard into like this I don't know,
Like a storage room.
yeah, like a little back storage room somewhere. And that's where he eventually, he kind of explores a little bit, and that's where he eventually, we'll say, runs into Eric.
Or Eric runs into him.
Yup.
Because he's got a flashlight. It's like a dark room. You just see a bunch of storage boxes, and out of fucking nowhere, a forklift just comes roaring to life, and just basically runs into him and blasts him back into a fucking electrical outlet.
Yeah.
He's getting electrocuted, and it's pretty awesome. It gets to the point where one of his eyes fucking pops out of his face. It ends up landing in a box for frozen yogurt mix.
Yeah.
So that's where you're like, maybe that's where that ear came from. It was awesome. It was another awesome.
Yeah, dude, it was a cool fucking death sequence, and the eyes popping were fucking great, and just
it was great. Sorry to interrupt. What were you gonna say?
Oh no, I was just gonna say it was just fucking hilarious watching that one eye fly off too.
Absolutely, it was unexpected.
Yeah.
To be honest, but I just there's something about a horror movie where someone dies that I mean, okay, so it's a little extreme to say that this person who installed a video camera to watch girls change, maybe he didn't deserve to die per se, but
he definitely got what was coming to him.
Yeah, so and I like those kind of kills where it's like, you don't have any remorse for this person. You're almost cheering for it.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
just
for
great.
Sure.
Because it's like, there's been plenty of movies where there's been like a character picked up and thrown into an electrical box or electrical outlet, but the forklift just fucking blasting them into it was a nice touch. So
yeah, dude, I mean, it was like it was almost like an unnecessary over the top death, but it was like so fucking good. Well, I mean that in like it seems like a really throwaway character. The character is like built for you just to be like, yeah, fuck this guy.
yeah. Oh, for sure. And it's also interesting too because you're like, well, it's almost like now you're expecting to see what else is going to happen if Eric sees someone doing something that he is either wrong or that he seems is wrong, or what's he going to do if someone, is disrespectful to Melody or you know what I mean? So it's kind of like he's just like the watcher in the wings in a very vengeful way.
No, that's
cool.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's kind of like a really established that precedent where it's like, clearly he doesn't want people like around Melody, it seems like.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so then it kind of takes you back up with Harv, who's like in his office now, and he's having like a meeting with the mayor, played by, oh my god, we were talking about her, Morgan Fairchild. I almost blanked on their name again, and he's talking about like expansions to the mall and shit, like, and which probably weren't a bad thing, but
he talks about the mall being a gold mine, and
he has a moment of creepiness where he puts his hand on their shoulders and he like kind of like rubs her arm a little bit. He's like, if you need any guidance and support, and it's pretty quickly shaken off.
Yeah, she also has this where she talks about him being supported for city council and that she might support him too. So you're almost it almost seems like they're like, I don't know how to, like they're in cahoots about something, or
cahoots.
It seems like they've got something going on more than just like oh, I'm the mayor and I'm here to unveil this new mall. Like it seems like they've got something else going on. But yeah, she leaves, and then something else on it. And that's the thing. Okay, so there's a lot of things that happened in this movie that were super unexpected that I didn't see coming, and this is one of them.
This is fair.
Harv's just sitting there minding his own business, and all of a sudden the eyeless fucking perv security guard comes falling out of the fucking like vent above.
Right, like just comes falling down.
What the fuck would you do?
I mean, I would have a bigger reaction than Harv seemed to have. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I would have been, you know, but like that's and that's kind of the funny thing. He's just sort of like, you know, he's just like, oh shit, like literally he just says, oh shit.
Oh shit, yeah. Well, yeah, we kind of follow up with that, but yeah, like whoa, bro, like I did, you know, that's just wild.
I would have like probably ran out of my office, honestly. Been like, I gotta go fucking tell I gotta get like somebody else has to be witness to this.
I would have had so many questions, like, how did he get up there to that part of the vet? Like, you know.
Well, exactly.
Anyway,
like, yeah.
So we see that Melody and Susie are sort of leaving the mall. They're talking about Peter, you know, how he's cute. He. They ended up going their separate ways. Susie gets in her car, and sort of like the flowers later, she gets another present. But this one's a little more interesting because she opens it up, and it turns out it's this purple dress. And a little earlier in the movie, there was a quick scene where they're shopping, and she mentions how she really wants to get this dress, but she needs to save money for college.
Yeah, so, she just started making money, so she needs to save it. Yeah, it's wild that it shows up in there. Also, quick note, she has one of those sweet, you know, 80s, 90s cars with the automatic seatbelt.
Those are so cool.
Badass. You remember Gil used to have one? I can't remember what it was the Aston Mazda, I think.
Okay.
He used to have one. Anyway, yeah, so it is like really strange, you know. It's obviously like, how the fuck did this dress get in here?
Well, like, yeah, it's almost like, dude, like it almost seems like Eric's like everywhere all at once.
Well, and truly, like, yeah, exactly. Like it's just you've watched him follow her around the entire like daytime. At some point, he like dipped outside to go like put this dress in her car.
But how did he happen to? Just so many. There's no way he could have made it into the store and out without being seen. I don't. Anyway,
I know there's so many questions. Eric is a mysterious motherfucker.
Absolutely.
But you know, so Melody goes to try and start the car, and it doesn't seem to, you know, turn over. So she, you know, this whole sequence is just fucking wild, if you ask me. So you get this, like, so she gets out of the car, pops the hood, you know, starts to look under the hood, and then boom, out of nowhere, this masked individual comes up and tries to fucking assault her, with clearly with like sexual intentions, and she's like, starts struggling. Yeah, she starts struggling against him, and you know, it cut into the middle of this. You see this like figure on top of the fucking mall, crouched down with like in like they have the crossbow. And so you get another close up of them, of the masked person and Melody struggling, and then thwop, the dude just gets shot in the arm with a goddamn fucking arrow from across the mall parking lot.
It's amazing. Eric's a very good shot.
Hell of a shot, dude.
But you know, he could have you know, aimed for the heart or blew it through the guy's head. I'm almost surprised that he didn't go for a kill shot, or maybe he was trying for a kill shot. Listen,
because of something that happens later in the movie that we'll get to, I'm really grateful that he didn't.
No, for sure. Yeah,
there's a scene later in the movie that I watched like 5-6 times in a row because it was just so funny.
It's one of the most outrageous kills. But we'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
The mugger, you know, obviously falls. And you know, Melody takes a look around her surroundings to see like where the hell could this have come from. There's no one around, and then the mayor rolls up as the mugger runs off.
Yeah. The mayor
But then
doesn't seem like that bad of a person, you know. She gets Melody in the
No.
car and is like, "Yo, I'm gonna get you home, and then tomorrow we're gonna have to file a police report," you know.
Well, that happens here shortly because we follow up with Peter now. You know, he's going through some files in a filing cabinet.
Actually, even before that, we follow up with Harv. I'm realizing.
Wait, are you sure?
Yeah, it goes from
Oh, my bad.
because this is when Harv calls in the cooler, man. I thought of Roadhouse for some reason in this scene. He calls up this mysterious person on the phone. He's like, "I might need your help again," or whatever.
You know, I may be requiring your services.
Yeah,
because we see that the dead security guard. There's a note attached, like wrapped around his neck. It's made with like newspaper clippings, and it says "an eye for an eye." And you're like, okay.
Yeah, which doesn't make any sense. And maybe it doesn't. Right now, I think about it.
It does because of his burnt side of his face. Maybe he can't see out of that eye. I don't know.
Yeah.
And just the principle anyway. But yeah. So you're right. That scene happens. He makes a mysterious phone call to a character that we'll be meeting soon.
Oh, yeah.
And then you're right. You're absolutely right. Melody and the mayor talk about the mugger and how he has a limp. The mayor offers to take Melody home, and then we follow up at Peter's. So you're right.
Yeah, it's like a really quick like boom, 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 because all those sequences are just like really fast, honestly. But yeah, we follow Peter, and what he's like looking through, like he said, he was like looking through files and shit.
Mm-hmm. It's a really weird sequence because he opens up the file, and it seems to be a picture of a house. And then we get it. Then it jumps to like another fucking flash, or real quick. We real quick, actually, we get a shot of two random people burning the dead security guard's body.
Yeah, that's like, so it's like,
yeah, so many things happen in this just like short, like 3-minute span. It's like rapid fire, like.
I know, it's fucking crazy because the dude that's like burning that body, it's like, he's a funny looking fucking, like he's a classic like 80s look. He's got like you can tell he has like a leather on. It's at night. He's watching this body he just lit on fire. He's wearing sunglasses. He's got like a dangly earring. He looked like he tried out for the Lost Boys at some point.
Oh my god.
But yeah, it's a really fucking quick sequence that you get introduced to whoever that fucker is, and then it jumps into like that. It is
kind of interesting though, because you would think in a typical situation, if you were a business owner and a dead body missing an eye, fell through a roof vent on your desk, that you would like, call the police or yada yada yada. But his way of taking care of it is to call someone and have them burn it. So you're like, there's got to be something going on here. You know
exactly.
What I mean?
There's something fishy afoot.
We jump to probably the most pointless, stupid, fucking unnecessary scene of the movie.
Yeah.
Just a really long scene, a flashback of Eric and Melody getting frisky and fucking.
Yeah, it's just like it takes forever. It feels like it's super passionate, and then you can tell it becomes like a dream of like right before it ends, because she like imagines him getting like swallowed up by fire or whatever.
You mean a nightmare?
Nightmare, yeah, excuse me. Yeah, but if that's just a dream, you got problems. Yeah,
because it's like interspersed with shots of like an obscured figure with the earring setting fire to a match, and then the end of it is Eric looks normal, and then he has like his face, the fire starts and his face is burnt.
Yeah.
And then she just wakes up drenched in sweat, screaming, and it was obviously a nightmare. But yeah, it was just such a long, unnecessary scene, essentially to have a sex scene and another pair of tits in the movie.
Yeah, it just took exactly. That's kind of what I felt like. I was like, oh well. But yeah, so eventually, you end up back at the mall. She wakes because
It's the next day.
The next day, she's back at the mall. And
We've run into Peter first, who meets up with Buzz, and Buzz tells him he has a scoop for him. And we also get a hilarious shot of Eric, like in his like underground lair or whatever you want to call it, and he's using a punching bag. You're like, what the fuck,
dude? Yeah, I know. It's just like there's a random shot of him like kickboxing a punching bag. Yeah.
Super quick.
Yeah. While wearing the mask and everything,
Yeah, it doesn't seem, yeah, he is wearing the mask and a fucking hat. Like,
yeah, it's just
you
ridiculous.
Can take the mask off.
Yeah. Come on, bro, you're in your lair. I like that.
Then we get a quick shot of Harv and Acardi, Ken Foray's character, and Ken Foray's rambling off a list of all these different missing or stolen items from the mall, and they're all things that we've either seen Eric took, or you can obviously assume that Eric took. He also brings up how the two security guards aren't there, and Harv has a great line where Cardi brings up the perverted one that died first. He's like, "Do you know where he's at?" And Harv goes, "Oh, I fired him."
This fucking guy. Yeah, dude, he definitely did.
Like, oh my god, they had to go there. We also have another quick scene just showcasing kind of more of Justin being a piece of shit.
Oh yeah, the arcade.
Yeah, although his dad is rich and owns a mall, what does he do in the arcade?
Dude, he's a scuzz. He waits for the employee to walk off.
He's a scuzz.
And he like jams a screwdriver into the pinball machine like coin thing, where you pop the coins in, and he like opens it up and like rips out a bunch of change out of it.
What a fuck!
Yeah, dude. Like, fuck you, rich boy, get out of here. He's just doing it for the thrills, you know it.
Yeah,
he's wearing a leather jacket in this scene too, though, so you definitely know he's a bit of a bad boy. It's like it's firmly established now.
I get that because
I definitely used to do stupid shit
just for the thrill. Yeah,
just absolutely. For the thrill. But then you have another really great juicy moment, dude. That's kind of it. Like, it's immediately that followed up with Eric doing some more exercises in his lair.
Oh my god, he's like a
motherfucking Donatello over here.
I was just gonna say that he's got a bow staff and he's like practicing like roundhouse kicks and shit. And you're like, what is going on?
It's so good. And yeah, you're just like, what the fuck is happening right now?
Dude, it's amazing.
Yeah, dude. Motherfucking Kung Fu expert, man.
Kung Fu Eric, yeah.
Yeah, dude, Kung Fu Eric. Don't want to mess with him, man.
We get another good little quick interaction between Harv and his dirtbag son.
His dirtbag son. He's like Justin's like walking up and he's like throwing a soda from hand to hand, and Harv walks up and fucking Justin opens it and it just blasts Harv. It was either a soda or a beer. I couldn't tell what it was. Either way, you're right. It just like sprays all over Harv.
Dude, if that was my kid, I would have slapped the living piss out of him.
Yeah, dude. I would have been like, you're fucking done here, son.
That wasn't an accident. He did that on purpose.
Exactly.
I would have. If I was Harv and my grown son did that, I would have bitch slapped him.
Dude, for real.
But then we kind of get, we've seen Eric, have a couple kills, do some karate. We get another wrinkle to his character, kind of another wrinkle to his character here, where he pops in a tape. A really sad, somber song called "Heart of Darkness" comes on.
Oh my god, that song plays so many times, dude.
he also pops in a and this movie like really like takes you back, because it reminded me of the days of burning, like having a VHS tape and burning like TV shows on them, or recording. Yeah, because he has a VHS tape labeled Melody, and it's all these different recordings of her in the mall over the past day, I guess. Seems like he's got a lot of recordings of her, but there's like her in an elevator. It's like just all these different shots all over the mall, and the song is really, really shitty.
Oh, dude, there still ain't no way to say goodbye.
I don't recognize the song.
I don't either. I recognize it from having watched this.
Well, like you said, you've already seen it 3 times.
That's what I mean. Like, that's why it's such, when it kicks in, every time it kicks in, it's so ridiculous. I just love it. It's like this. It's just a classic ballad, you know, like fucking power ballad-esque thing.
It kind of sounds like, sounds like a really like bad like Journey cover band.
Oh yeah, exactly. They'd call themselves a tribute band probably.
Wow.
But after, you know, the melody tape sequence, you kind of follow back up with what Buzz was trying to
oh my god
do with Peter, which like, you know, he's kind of trying to distract him, I feel like, you know.
Well, I mean, I guess I didn't think about it like that, but this is kind of like another scene that was okay, never mind, I take that back, because at first it seems really random, but then it actually winds up like the scene actually winds up in a place where you're like, okay, now I know why this scene happened. Because they go into like the security room where all the monitors are, and Buzz ends up playing like the Hawaiian tune that probably plays throughout the mall, and we learn that underneath this there's been subliminal messaging playing, saying spending money makes me feel good, shopping is fun on the camera. But Peter ends up seeing someone on one of the TV monitors that he recognizes. Looks like a security guard with maybe an earring in. And my favorite part about this scene is that Peter runs off and he's like, what store is he in? And Buzz goes, oh, he's in a Sam Goodies.
Yeah, dude. I thought it was fucking great too. I was like, Jesus. Shout out to Sam Goody, man.
You know how long it's been since I've heard the fucking Sam Goodies?
Dude.
It's been years.
For real, though. Oh, man. I mean, I remember when Sam Goody became like the mall's music store in Wenatchee. It used to be, before that, the only music store that was in there was a Camelot Music. And then Sam Goody became, like, I think it was literally in the same spot. Like when Sam Goody
was.
I'm pretty sure. But either way, so like you said,
dude, I remember
what?
I remember when that Sam Goody went out of sale. Went out of business, because that was at the time when I was like, I remember for like at one point I had a fucking massive CD collection. Yeah. But I remember when that Sam Goody was going out of sale, dude, I bought so many fucking CDs there. It was insane. Because it'd be like $6, $7, $8, you know? I was just like, yep.
Dude.
Anyway.
No, it's true, man. Like, that's why it's always kind of like weirdly lucky when you find when one of those stores goes out, because you're just like, okay, I'm plucking them up.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so this kind of like leads Peter to, like he said, he's like rushing out of the room. He gets told it's the Sam Goody. Yeah. And he he runs over to the Sam Goody to go, you know, check out this person that he thinks he recognizes. And you still don't really know who this individual is.
He just looks creepy.
He just looks, he looks like he's up to no good. He's the guy with the dangly earring, though. So if you do kind of like, you know, like that's basically the only giveaway for his character is like, you know.
But you still really don't know, like, necessarily like who he is or what actually he has done.
I mean,
You're
he could just be a dickhead security guard, like the new security guard. But Peter recognizes him, tries to take like a photo of him in the Sam Goody.
He actually gets pretty creative.
Yeah, he tries to take like the picture like in the like little shoplifting mirror they had put up in the corner or whatever.
Yeah, that was pretty creative actually. But as he goes to leave, the security guard kind of notices the camera in his hand and kind of, is a little suspicious, and they end up it's not the most ridiculous chase scene I've ever seen. It wasn't like the chase scene, like one of the chase scenes in the Prophets Game or in any other movie, but a slight chase scene ensues. A couple shoppers get knocked over by Volker is the character's name with the earring.
Yeah.
But they end up having this kind of long chase scene to where Peter ends up, kind of getting away, and he ends up like 2 stories down from him. And Peter actually ends up running into the mayor and runs over her to take a picture, which is really random. And there's kind of no payoff to the chase scene. Like he just stops, he stops chasing him and kind of just gives him like the guard, kind of just gives him like a dirty eye and walks off. Probably, honestly, he probably stopped the chase because the mayor was there and was like, I'm going to get this kid later.
Most likely. But, one great thing, actually 2 great things that come out of the chase scene is that at one point Peter gets in an elevator and Volker somehow climbs on top of the elevator and hangs off the side. He's like, ah! And he like, and then at another point, the guard runs into like somebody wheeling a bunch of boxes and then just fucking decks the dude, knocks him the fuck out.
You're like, whoa, like that was extreme. Like Jesus Christ. But yeah, that was this elevator that there's that scene in Chopping Mall where they trick one of the robots into the elevator and with the propane tank and blow it up.
Yes.
So that's where I recognized it. But so next we
that's when we get to
another quick.
Oh shit! And I'm gonna have to edit this part. It's cutting out. Yo.
Where Susie enters Melody's wallpaper.
Hold on.
Yeah. I don't know where you'd get a fake eye that looked that realistic.
Hold on, we got to go back and mention that because it cut out for a second.
Oh, so we there's just a quick scene where Susie gets another yogurt.
Yeah, sweet treat.
A sweet treat. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. But there's an eyeball in it, and she thinks that it's another one of Buzz's pranks. Just a really, 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 really quick, kind of pointless scene. But it was kind of cool to get the payoff of seeing the eye land into the frozen yogurt mix.
It really was. Like, I mean, it was just cool to that they followed through with that. But yeah, it's so funny because she just like pulls it out and just like throws it off to the side.
Yeah, she's like,
and presumably
I forget what she says. She's like, nice. Yeah, I think she says something like, "Nice try, Buzz," or something like that. Speaking of Buzz, like, there's only 2 characters I can think of in cinema history, or 3, Buzz Lightyear, but there's Buzz from this, Buzz from Home Alone. But what a why would you name? Okay, I take that back because you had a kid in your class by the name of Buzz, and he was actually a pretty cool guy. But it's just such a weird, why would you name your kid Buzz?
No, I really agree, and that even applies to that individual where it's like, I wonder if his parents were just huge Home Alone fans. They're like,
dude, he was born before Home Alone came out.
No way.
Yeah, Home Alone came out in like the mid. He was probably, yeah. I was.
Oh yeah, you're right. Because that kid's Ethan's age.
Yeah, but anyway,
yeah. So we pick back up with Melody, who's like setting up the restaurant or whatever for her new job. And then she has this moment where somebody clicks on fucking Heart of Darkness on the jukebox, and she just immediately has another flashback.
Yeah, because she goes to put a song on, but where we learn like in a second that she had picked a different song, but for some reason that's the song that came on. And yeah, we do get another goddamn flashback scene.
It's just like a quick one where it's like her and Eric are macking, and it's another quick like Eric's like trying to grab her titty, and then like they say something, and then like it cuts back out because Peter enters the restaurant room. It was like it's like another like really inconsequential flashback. You're just sort of like, what is this? Like,
yeah, I guess it was just more. I guess it kind of was just more to drive home the fact that this song, was their song essentially.
Yeah.
But yeah, Peter comes in and tells her about running into the guy that he thinks is the guy, taking a picture of him that he's going to develop it and show him later. And then she ends up talking about how all these weird things have been going on. The flowers, what she saw. She brings up the dress, and then brings up the jukebox, and she thinks something weird is going on, and she mentions that she thinks it's almost like Eric's still around.
Yeah, which is like, it'd be so creepy, like if all that shit started happening. Like,
I mean, you're not wrong
if you're being honest. Like it wouldn't just be coincidence at that point,
right?
But yeah, then Peter tells her about like that photo, and she's like she kind of is like, oh yeah, I'd like to take a look at it when you develop it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when we kind of end up having a quick scene with like the mayor and what's his name?
Accardi,
where they're like walking through the mall courtyard. It's like it's really like it's like the fancy part of the mall apparently.
Yeah, there's like a pianist. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, this is a dude. Yeah, just sitting there, just playing the piano.
I've never seen a mall where there's a pianist, just playing some, it's wild. But
that's what I'm saying, dude. It's like mall culture is just like they took it seriously.
Because they're basically talking about the mugger and how he be on the lookout for someone with a limp and who got shot with an arrow and potentially anyway.
Yeah.
And so they do that. The pianist finishes his song and goes on break, and we do see that he's actually walking with a limp. He heads into the employee bathroom, and
dude, it's so fucking good. So he goes in the bathroom, but then you also see this cut scene of Eric unscrewing like a pipeline, and when there's like some sort of, he has a bag and there's like it's hissing and kind of moving, so you can gauge that there's a snake in there of sorts, but you're just like, what the fuck is about to happen?
Yeah,
and it's just such a good payoff. So, like, you know what I mean, like. Because you do find out that the pianist, like, he takes off his coat and you find the fucking arrow wound in his shoulder. It's like bleeding profusely, dude. It's like,
yeah,
and
yeah.
So yeah. So what happens to him though, dude?
So
so good.
So he ends up sitting down on the toilet to I'm guessing to take a shit.
Oh, yeah.
And the lights turn out, and it's actually really cool. So the lights turn out. He flicks on a lighter to like create a light source. Out of nowhere, a fucking cobra
God
pops up between his legs, lunges, bites him on the dick, and as he's screaming, the lighter flicks off, and you're like, whoa, like. It wasn't the most, obviously, because it was just a snake bite. It wasn't like the goriest, bloodiest death you'll ever see, but it is one of the more creative, unique kills that you're gonna see in a horror movie.
Oh, dude, it's ridiculous. Like, I haven't seen something really like, just like they just throw it in there like that. Like, it's so fast too, but like,
well. So dying on the toilet would be awful. But
Yeah.
B, I don't know what could be more possibly humanly terrifying than taking a shit and a cobra just pops up between your legs. Like you'd be dead. You'd be fucked. What the fuck are you gonna do?
That's what I'm saying, dude. That's what I'm saying.
Because you hear that's because it's like that's like like an urban legend of sorts. You know?
Yeah, the reptile in the sewer, yeah.
Kind of.
I love how he, right as the snake's going down to bite him in the dick, he just goes, "No!" It's like the way he says it is why I watched this scene like fucking 5 times. Like I was just like, it's just so fucking funny.
It's a great expression, but I'm not referring to the reptile in the sewer. I'm talking about like there's. I'm actually pretty sure it's happened where people have actually had snakes come up through their toilet.
Yeah. Oh, I do. Yeah, I mean that has happened, and that's
Jesus Christ. Could you imagine? You're just taking a shit. Next thing you know, a snake fucking. Oh my God, dude.
Yeah, dude. Starts tickling you. Ugh.
But so anyway, so that was a great way to die.
It's such a good death. It's just one of my favorite things in the movie.
Yeah. So now we see that, the restaurant that Melody works at is kind of popping now. Buzz and Susie are there, and so is Peter, and Eric also happens to be looking on through a video and audio feed that he has set up. Peter has now developed the picture, but it's really blurry, and Peter talks about how he thinks it all ties into something, and he's going to call her later to talk about it. Then we get a great.
I was just gonna say,
go for it.
Then we have another perfect Eric scene, man. He gets all like frustrated at what he's seeing, and then it's just so great because it's like he's storming away, and then you see it's just a shot of like a 10-pound weight, and he like picks it up and starts like aggressively lifting it in the mirror. Oh my God, dude. But then he ends up like he gets mad because he notices his face again, and then he's like, my face is fucked up, and then he smashes the mirror, of course. But it's just so funny, like the dude just like huffing and puffing in his fucking cave down there.
Yeah, it's pretty great, dude. So now the next thing that happens is Justin is at the mall. He's kind of creepily hanging out outside of Susie's work. While he's doing that, Accardi tells Harv about it, and how maybe he should go handle it discreetly. Justin ends up walking in and starts hitting on Susie. Like he's I forget what he says first, but he starts hitting on her, and she's very clearly not into it, but he still like aggressively continues to hit on her. And I thought this scene was going to go in a different direction. I'm really glad it didn't go into like him trying to like assault her sort of scene.
Yeah. But
Harv ends up showing up. Justin tries to play it off like he was doing some shopping, and then Harv tells him to get the hell out.
Yeah, dude. I want to see her face till after the opening.
Right. And we continue to follow Justin for a little bit, because we see he's kind of a rebel. He's walking through the mall, he's smoking a cigarette, and he randomly happens upon a skateboard that's just sitting there, and you're like, oh my God, where's this gonna lead?
Dude, for real, though.
Naturally he grabs a skateboard, and we also see at this time that Eric is crawling through the vents and seems to have some rope in his hand.
Yeah, dude. Another shock moment for Eric, for sure.
Oh my God.
It's truth, though. But yeah, dude, and like, so like, it's just so funny because Justin's just like in the courtyard or whatever, just fucking tearing it up.
Well, he's not really doing any tricks, but
he's
that's kind of how.
That's like it's like 80s style skating.
Yeah, it's more like 80s flat ground style, where he's doing like 360 like manual type things. But dude, this is so great.
This whole sequence is fucking wild, man. Like, because like quickly into this, like Eric shows up and you find out exactly what he does with that rope. He just from the top of the damn escalator like a fucking cowboy. He just like lassos Justin around the neck with this rope and starts dragging him kind of like onto the escalator. But then he puts like the rope in the escalator and
the top of it, yeah.
Yeah, and so it's just like starts pulling not Eric, but starts pulling Justin up. And basically another sort of like quasi like fear that people had for a really long time, like the escalator thing,
Bingo! I was just gonna say that. Yeah,
dude,
he gets dragged to the top and ultimately he gets strangled and killed. But yeah, dude, I remember being a kid and like I remember the first time that happened, like my sister being like, oh, don't let your clothes get caught in there. You're going to get pulled in there and shredded up. And that was like a legit fear of mine for a little while.
Yeah, dude. I remember like Mallrats used to made fun of it like in that movie a couple of times where there was just like, in the background you'd hear like a kid getting like fucking injured on the escalator. And one of the characters would just be like, how many fucking kids like don't know how to use the escalator?
Right. No,
yeah,
it's
dude,
good.
It's a great fucking sequence in there.
It's another creative kill. It's pretty odd. Just the scene of him rolling up like fucking Zorro and like and roping him is, and just him like the skateboard like oh man, it's just, dude, we can't do it justice. It's just so absurd.
It's so great. Oh my god, dude, yeah. And then you kind of just right off of that, you sort of follow up. Peter and Melody are leaving the mall together while Eric's dragging Justin's body through the vents.
Yeah, they end up getting into one of their. I'm assuming it's Peter's car because he gets in the driver's seat. Mm-hmm. He talks about how he has one more thing that he needs to find out, and they're gonna do that tonight. They're talking, and he wants her to tell him exactly what happened that night. And so she ends up telling the story of how, and this happens with some flashbacks too, how if they get back to his house at 11 at night, and how the developers, like all these houses in the neighborhood, the developers wanted the houses condemned, so they leave a notice on his door. She talks about how his parents were asleep. So they go into his room and start doing hanky. He gives her orchids and play their favorite song, which were some of like the flashbacks that we got later, earlier. And they start, doing the hanky panky. And all of a sudden she talks about how out of nowhere, while she's telling the story, she's like, are you sure you want to hear this next part? And Peter's like, yeah. And she's like, well, we were doing, apparently out of nowhere the fire starts raging, and Peter Eric being the guy he is, he bashes out his window and he lifts Melody out first, saving her first, and he ends up getting pinned by like a dresser that falls. She makes it out, but she falls and hits her head and falls unconscious, and he gets trapped in the house. And she says that the last thing that you remember seeing is the guy with the earring standing above her, and it shows him with some matches and a can of gasoline. So yeah, you're like, okay, well now we finally fully know like what happened a year ago.
Yeah, exactly. And it's that's fucking crazy. And to think that like that dude tried to like light her on fire just to finish the fucking job. But,
that's what you think. Yeah.
Like that's crazy. These people are fucking crazy.
Yeah. This leads Peter to come to a conclusion, that he thinks that someone is covering up for him, but who? She brings up that she mentions it could possibly be Harv. Hiring the guy to get Eric and his family out of the house, which is quite a conclusion to jump to.
Oh,
she also talks about, what if Eric didn't die in the fire? And Peter talks about how, that would explain a lot of things. And, he says that he wants, what's up?
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say, Peter, he's like, well, there's one way to prove that, like.
Of course. And what's that way they're gonna prove it?
Oh, just go do some light grave robbing.
Jesus Christ. But, after he mentions that they should prove it by checking his grave, out of nowhere, a gun gets put to Peter's head. And it's that goddamn security guard. He pulls him out of the car. And I thought it was going to be kind of one of those things where the security guard, we don't, they are, I thought it was going to be one of those situations where they suspect the security guard for a while before they finally realize that this is the guy. I thought this was going to be a scene where he arrests Peter, or not arrests, but detains Peter for the situation earlier, but he just flat out comes out and looks at Melanie and is like, do you remember me? And basically, reveals, that he's this person they think he is.
Yeah, exactly. You just confirmed their suspicions there, bud.
But Peter has another smart moment here, because what does Peter do to?
Oh yeah, he he uses his camera to sort of. It was like a solar flare, like Krillin does in Dragon Ball Z. It's like he flashes the camera on the guard and blinds him temporarily, enough time at least for them to get back in the car and drive off.
Well, he also delivers one of the worst looking punches at the punch totally. If you go back and watch carefully, the punch totally whiffs, because he uses the flash to startle him, and then he punches him, but I'm telling you, the punch totally whiffs. It's hilarious.
Peter's not much of a fighter.
Well, yeah, but yeah, they get in their car. Volker gets into his car and makes a call, to over the intercom to Accardi, basically saying, the details of the car. We get a really long, overly long chase scene. But they end up, we don't need to really go into the details of that, but
chase scene's great either way, but we at least get one car flip. I don't think anything catches fire, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, no, something does.
Oh.
But yeah, so
oh,
near
it's
the end,
true. Holy shit.
So Peter and because the first part of the chase scene happens in the parking garage.
Oh my god, this movie.
Peter and Eric end up making it out first, and Volker comes out next, and we see that Eric was perched on a structure nearby, and he actually jumps onto the roof of Volker's car.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens?
Well, that's it just gets fucking hog wild, right? So it all culminates into Volker driving into I don't know, it's a ramp of some sort.
It's a perfectly placed. It's happened in so many movies. It's a perfectly placed pile of dirt that's essentially a ramp.
That's what I'm saying. It's just it lines right up. It's like a demolition derby. He comes flying over, crashes into some cars that are parked there, and that's where the fire kicks on. He crashes, and the car, of course, ends up on fire in the next time you see it.
Yeah, he narrowly makes it out.
It's he climbs out, and it shows Eric kind of crouched away from it watching
it. Yeah, the car explodes and ends up causing a chain reaction where the car next to it explodes. And although I'm not surprised, I thought we'd maybe make it a stretch of a couple movies without an unnecessary car explosion scene. But I love them. They're I'll never grow tired of it. It's such a great cliche.
Oh yeah. But then that jumps right from that scene into Peter and fucking Melody digging up a grave. But there's so much about this movie. We keep saying it, but there's so much about this movie that just sort of happens rapid fire, you said earlier.
Blink of an eye. Yeah, because next thing you know, he's already 5 feet deep in the grave, like already at the coffin.
Yeah.
But we see that, you know, their assumptions were correct. There's not a body inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when they meet. Like the next scene is like them at the mayor's house talking to the mayor.
Yeah.
You know, being like, we believe that this, you know, house was burned down on purpose.
Yeah, they talk about how they think Harb is responsible for the fire. She calls that, you know, a heavy accusation, which is true. And they also talk about how they think Eric is alive, and she talks about how, you know, it's hard for her to accept that, and you know, she tells them to find Eric. You know, that's how she'll believe them.
Well, then go find him. Yeah, I mean, it's like a tough sell if you're being honest, but you know, that's immediately like that spills right into the scene where, you know, Harv just is like, you know,
ridiculing.
Yeah, he's berating Volker or whatever for, you know, fucking up the whole, you know, moment they had with Peter. And now he's just like, this is when he kind of, you know, Volker doesn't take his shit all the way. He lets him yell at him for a little bit, but then he's like, you know, he tries to get a little strong with him, and he grabs him by the arm.
Mm-hmm.
You know, asserts his dominance a bit, lets the most interesting man in the world know that he can probably kick his ass.
Yeah, and then Harv tells him to do it tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Then we get another. It's really quite similar to the flashback scene of Eric and Melody fucking earlier. We get another flashback scene of that. But this one turns out to be another nightmare scene, which I kind of saw coming. But it starts out with Eric and Melody in bed, but then Eric turns into Peter, but then Peter turns into the guard, and Melody wakes up, you know, screaming again.
It's, you know, does not seem like a pleasant reoccurring kind of dream.
No.
And then that's when you cut into like, again, just like, you know, boom, boom, boom. Like Eric's like messing with like, what is it? Like,
well, he's in a pump. It looks like he's in like a pump room.
Yeah, you know, it's like some sort of like hydraulics or like, you know, some sort of hosiery. Oh yeah, and so you're just like, he's fucking with more shit. That's the thing I keep thinking about. Like, he's not just like lurking around the mall. He's like fucking with things in the mall. Like,
well, because this is when he sets up the bomb.
That motherfucking bomb, dude.
Yeah,
every time you get a glimpse of his like fucked up, like the side profile of his face or anything like that. They did. You can tell they did some like decent work on it. Like you can't, you don't get like a full shot for a really long time, but like you catch like things like, you know, like underneath the hat and stuff, and you're in that moment where he's setting up the bomb, like you catch like more of the side profile, and it's just I don't know, it's pretty cool actually.
Yeah, no, there's some good effects in this movie, but yeah, he fucking sets up a bomb. You're like, holy shit!
July 4th, man, it's gonna be a banging party.
Yeah. No pun intended. But now, so anyway, we see that Volker is kind of, you know, Melody's at work and Volker is there, like menacingly looking at her. She runs off to use a payphone to call Peter, and while that's happening, Volker runs up and, you know, and they get in a tussle. She spits in his face, knees him in the dick, but it's not enough. He ultimately gets the upper hand and drags her away as she drops a pair of keys.
Ah, yes, the keys.
Yes.
Yeah, so he drags her, you know, and this is the you know, while he's dragging her away, you get another cut of Eric must have known his spider sense was tingled, and he goes crawling through the pipework to get to meet them where they're at. And it's like some sort of, you know, dumpster area that you see Volker dragging Melody into.
Yeah, and it seems to have like a box crusher, like an automatic box crusher. You're like,
But, you know, a great fucking sequence.
Oh my god, dude.
All that hard work pays off, buddy.
All that karate training, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Wow, that's all I could think of is this scene is like, dude, I wonder how long they spent like choreographing this scene, because it is so over the top with all the karate kicks. It's just,
God, dude.
we're not going to be able to. I say this all the time, and I already said it earlier in this podcast, but we're not going to be able to do this scene justice.
No, there's at least 5 roundhouse kicks in this scene. You know what I mean? Like, it's fucking awesome. There's a moment where Eric almost gets the axe. It's like he's like almost getting the blade, and he like shoves the guy back off. It's a classic moment. But eventually, it seems like Volker has the upper hand.
You think?
And there, he's kind of gotten Eric sort of like pinned down right as the viewer, that
they accidentally pressed the button.
Is like starting to come down, and so with inhuman strength, Eric fucking holds up the crusher door and pushes it back up just enough to give him the room to fucking knock Volker and switch him in his places, basically.
Dude.
And, oh my God, dude. Like, dude gets fucking crushed.
Gets brutally decapitated. It's amazing.
Dude. It's so good because they follow through with it. Like not only do you see the shot of like the body, getting its head chopped off, like kind of twitching, but then it cuts really quick to like the shot of like the head falling completely off the body into the trash. It's so fucking good.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, I loved it. It was so fun. I mean, that's the thing, dude. This movie has creative deaths up and down it,
Yeah. I don't think it was as good as the compactor kill in Intruder, but it was pretty solid.
Oh no, dude, the Intruder one was.
That's one of my favorite. Yeah, dude, Intruder has some of the gnarliest. Dude, that movie's amazing. But anyway, so Peter shows up at Melody's work, finding Buzz. Kind of, like, have you seen Melody? Sort of type of deal. Peter runs off, and now we see that Harv is talking with a Cardi about the party. A Cardi with wow, talking to Cardi, and talking about how this party is to impress investors, and that security needs to be a little less conspicuous. Which is, it was just another pointless scene, really, essentially. However, when he goes to get his jacket, he finds something behind it.
Oh yeah. Finds the severed head of his former bodyguard guy or employee.
Volker's fucking decapitated head is there. Just once again, like, dude, how quick is Eric with just like flying through this mall?
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, well, and that on top of like just like like I said, like the fucking strength he just exhibits. Like, you're just like, Jesus, dude, what happened to this guy?
Yeah. We forgot to mention, that, while that whole fight between Eric and Volker was going on, Melody was unconscious. So she wakes up, in Eric's underground lair. She's really confused with her surroundings. She sees framed pictures of her. She from the back, she can see this guy lifting weights. But she knows it's Eric. She walks up to him. He reveals his face. He talks about how he was watching over her and how no one will ever hurt her. And she ends up touching his face. It's kind of a cute, like a touching moment. But it doesn't stay that way forever.
But again, the makeup job on his face is so fucking good when he reveals it, like the fucking wild, like the way the eye looks and like all the scar tissue, like
it is really solid.
Yeah.
So real quick, Peter tries to talk to the mayor about if she's seen Melody, but Harv pulls the mayor away because they're trying to entertain these guests. And we follow up with Buzz and Susie, who have gone to the security control room. Presumably they want to, maybe look on the camera, see if they can find Melody, but they have to lure the security guard that's in there now. We haven't seen. He's like a completely new security guard, but they have to lure him out of there.
He just like the guard like just lights up a fresh stove, and then Buzz gets a brilliant idea, which is so, I mean, it's such a Pauly Shore thing. And again, this is like, I feel like this is like one of the beginnings of things from like he would pull from later on, you know, in terms of like this is, but like, so Buzz's great idea is to go and just get on the camera. And at first he does this, like, he kind of pulls up his shirt a little bit and like rubs his nipples.
Yeah.
and then just straight drops trow and like moons the camera and then runs off down the hall, you know.
With his ass still exposed.
Yeah. And it works. It lures the security guard out, and
yes,
so
it
him
does.
and Melody are able to get into, you know, to the camera room.
Yeah.
It's just such a funny random ass moment, dude. Like,
it is pretty funny, and it totally reminds me of something I probably would have done when I was younger.
fair.
And they end up seeing, you know, those, you know, we mentioned those keys that Melody dropped earlier. Susie ends up seeing the keys dropped on the floor, and so they leave the security room to go, you know, check that out. But we go back to Eric and Melody now, and you know, he talks about how he always had that place below his house that he used to work out in. It was a special place, and then because they're still like they're still jovial here. You know, they're still like, you know, she's still happy that he's alive type of deal. But he tells her that he has something he wants to show her, and he goes over to a rack full of women's clothes and wants her to try some on. And she tells him that she can't, and you see Peter on the monitor, and Eric asks, it's him, isn't it? And gets fucking angry, brings up the past and how they had a vow to never let anything tear them apart. You know, she talks about how things have changed, and obviously, you know, they have.
Oh yeah, I mean,
but he just runs off in a fucking, just runs off pissed.
Yeah,
so, like,
dude. Just like straight down the tunnels he goes, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, it's like one of those, you know, that moment's gonna happen because it's a Phantom of the Opera, you know, play on the Phantom of the Opera.
Of course.
And
of course.
Yeah, it's just kind of a funny scene. Obviously, and then it kind of cuts with Buzz and Melody. You know, they're following up, you know, with the keys and everything. Susie. Sorry.
Yeah.
But you know, you also, so like, you know, you kind of follow up with them really quick, and then you find out where Eric heads, and Eric heads straight into like a sporting goods store. And it's really funny when he gets out of the vent, he like drops down onto some bags and gets all mad and like smacks them around a bit. You know, clearly he's frustrated, but Peter sees him and tries to approach.
Yeah, he sees him through like the because Peter's obviously in the mall, and he sees him through like a storefront window. So we kind of see that, you know, Melody's down in the lair. Buzz and Susie go into a vent to head down there. You know, Peter ends up, you know, Eric grabs whatever he grabs in the sporting goods store. It's kind of hard to see. But you know, next thing we see that, you know, Peter goes through he's in the storefront. He goes into the vent too. So all these characters are like going to be in the same vicinity very closely. Meanwhile, we cut back up to the party and see that, you know, the Harv and the mayor seem to be enjoying themselves. And this is when we see Eric. He goes back to the bomb and wires it up, setting it to detonate in 31 minutes, and you know, the time starts counting down. Oh yeah.
And so that's when, you know, at this point you're definitely like, okay, this movie's like, you know, you're about to find out where this movie's headed. But yeah, it's like you said, there's like, so now there's multiple characters crawling around in the vents. Eric's like fucking with him at this point, like knocking on the walls.
Oh, for Peter, yeah, he's like luring him somewhere.
Well, and he like Peter falls through like a grate, you know, and gets kind of discombobulated, and eventually finds the manhole that like Eric crawled out of earlier after he got mad at Melody. And then you see that he's like back down there with Melody, and he's like all up in her face, like shaking her and shit, like, you know,
Eric,
this classic, like, this is all for you kind of shit.
You're not going anywhere. I did this for you. I did this so we could be together.
Yeah, it's fucking.
You know, she mentions having a life up there, which is a really good point. But he has a line where he goes, "Without me, you have no life," which, you know, for a while there, although, you know, he was killing people, his intentions, you know, were to look over her and watch over her. But now he's crossed over into the really creepy, controlling sector of toxicity in relationships. He also mentions that once I've destroyed what's above, I'll join you here, and that we'll be together forever. And that's, you know, she learns about the bomb. And then we see that Peter, you know, he's still crawling through whatever area he's in. He seems to like step on a tripwire, and the snake is back.
Oh my god, yeah, dude, the fucking cobra's back at it. Well, because like he trips on, like, sets off something that like closes one door or like a grate and like forces him a different way, like past the cobra. But yeah, it was just kind of funny that they brought the cobra back, honestly.
Yeah, you know, but there's really no payoff though. But
no,
I guess you couldn't have two people die from the same cobra.
I mean, you could. But either way, this eventually leads Peter right into Eric's lair.
Yeah. And then they get into a fucking fight. Oh my god.
It's so good, dude. Another fucking great fisticuffs moment. So he like my favorite I think my favorite kick out of this was like, so well, there's two things. One, Peter tries to punch Eric at one point, and Eric just stops him with his hand, you know, stops his fist. And then like shortly after that, Eric at one grabs, like, he hops onto like a little low hanging bar and double kicks Peter back.
It's so great. It's so great.
It's so
and at one point Eric goes to punch and punches through a TV.
Yeah.
And it shatters the TV screen. Like, no, there's no way.
Dude,
but they end up starting a fire, and it looks like Eric, you know, is getting the better of Peter and is about to deliver like possibly the death punch. But Melody jumps in and talks about, no, Eric, I love him. And all I'm thinking right here is, love him. Okay. A, you barely know this guy. B, you've never even been on a date with him or kissed him. You don't even know his fucking last name. How the hell are you in love with this guy already? Oh my god.
Right? Like,
I know it's a
stupid
nitpick, but fucking Christ.
Nah, it's the truth. It's crazy.
Anyway, Eric stops, and Peter takes advantage of that by punching Eric. Eric falls headfirst into a corner of a table, not only knocking his mask off, but knocking himself out. And I just realized this is like the third or fourth time, and there's like one or two more. But there's way too many scenes in this movie where a character falls unconscious.
Yeah, it happens quite a lot, right? And then that's when Peter and Melody are like, they end up rushing out of the lair, past the hissing cobra again. It's like a video game level or something.
No shit.
And you know, they try to make their escape. And it's kind of cut in with like a little mix of like, you know, the mayor talking to the investor crowd up top, you know, and
absolutely.
And then Eric he gets up and kind of pursues with, you know, but at some point Buzz and Susie cross paths with Melody and Peter.
Yes.
And they have a little quick exchange through the grate.
Yeah, we also see that now there's 21 minutes left. And Peter and Melody have made their way back up to the mall, and they come across the mayor. They tell the mayor that they need to evacuate and tell her about the bomb. But here comes the swerve that, you know, you could, you know, it wasn't, you know, something that was shocking. You could see it a mile away. But the mayor pulls a pistol out of her satchel, points it at them, and tells them, I can't let you wreck this nice party, and to turn around and head the way you came. And then we see in another really super random scene, Daisy and Buzz come across a Honda motorcycle with a sidecar on it, sitting in the middle of the mall, and it just starts up.
Dude, it just fires right up.
Yeah, like, come on, no. And they just drive off. It's so wild. You're like,
it's
what
great,
the fuck?
man. And that motorcycle looks like somebody designed it in the 80s thinking this was the future too.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
But yeah, so like, oh my God, just wild events happen here. So like you were saying, the mayor has a gun on Melody and Peter at this point, and like they're back up in like Harv's office, presumably, I guess.
Mhm.
And out of nowhere, fucking Eric. What?
Real quick before you get into that, I just want to say that it's funny. So Melody asks why they're working together, and I just love the mayor's response. She says, I'm a major stockholder in the mall. That means major profits. This is my ticket out of here. That was her reason for covering up an arson and murder, yada, yada, yada. But yeah, dude, what happened?
Get your ticket out of here, man.
Yeah. But like you said, Eric just happens. How does Eric show up?
Dude, he just he just pops the fuck up and
through the vent to that like same vent that he had probably dropped the body earlier from.
Yeah. And then like just in a moment lifts up the mayor over his head and just pitches her out the fucking window.
This is probably my favorite death.
Oh my God, dude. And where does she end up,
it's
man?
So great because briefly earlier, part of the speech that you're talking about that Harv was talking about, he mentioned about this isn't complete until we've shown you the Midwood Spire. So you're kind of like, what is it? What? But anyway, yeah, Eric pops down through the vent, Cole cocks Peter, knocking him out. So that's another unconscious person. Yeah, dude, he just picks up the mayor, hucks her through a window. She falls like 3 or 4 stories and gets impaled through the chest on a small scale model of the spire. It is fucking incredible.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking great, man. It's and it's like such a great classic kind of shot where the body being like impaled and the blood work was just great. But then shortly after that, right after that, Melody tries to make a run for it and somehow ends up like in the rafters of the mall.
Yeah, super weird.
And Eric's in pursuit, they're really high up. And like, I don't even know, like, I'm just like, why the fuck did you go up there? But at one, eventually, like, at one point she, falls down and like, it's like holding on to the 4th of July banner and shit's like dangling down and ripping, and Peter's trying to rescue her. Eric's just like up there, just like who is his motherfucking name? Oh my God, Ken Foray. Bacardi without the B. He like tries to get Eric in his sights, right? And he's like shooting at him and shit. Like it just like the whole scene just is like devolving fast. Yeah, right.
Because while this is going on, Buzz and Susie, thank you. They head to the security room again. They get over the intercom and talk about, everyone needs to evacuate. There's a bomb threat, and like while you mentioned, while this is all happening, while Peter comes to. And that whole scene is happening. Harv is trying to get guests to saying it's a publicity stunt. Peter ends up saving Melody, like you mentioned. Bacardi misses a couple times, but ends up shooting Eric in the shoulder. And there's now 1:32 and counting left on the timer, and this is great, dude. This is amazing. So, okay, we recently just watched Popcorn, right?
Yeah.
Derek Rydall's character near the end. So, after all this stuff happens, Eric sees Harv and yells, "Posner," which is his last name. He grabs onto the ripped banner and swings down it like fucking Tarzan, which is very eerily reminiscent to the ending in Popcorn, where he rides down something like Tarzan and sets off the chain of events that kills the villain in Popcorn. It's like super similar.
Oh my god, dude. It's so true.
But yeah, Eric fucking, it's great. He rides down like Tarzan, bashing into Harv and sending them flying through a glass like window entrance of a store. But yeah, it's so similar to Popcorn.
Dude, that's fucking wild. I did not even think about that. That is such a good call. Oh my god, dude. And I mean, and you know, his interaction with Harv is fucking great too. Right here, where it's like, you know, Harvey's like pleading for his fucking life. Like, let's make a deal. I'll make a cash settlement with you right now.
Look what you did to me.
Yeah, you know. Dude. And then, I mean, Eric, there's like, you know, on the rack right behind him, it's like a display for weed killing, you know, like those little miniature like flamethrowers that people use to burn weeds. And he just like picks one up and just lights Harv the fuck up, dude. And
there's a great line that happens because, you know, like you mentioned, Harv's talking about, you know, we can make it was a misunderstanding. We can make a compromise. We can make a cash settlement. And Harv says, "I said some bad things. I'll eat my words." And Eric goes, "Eat this." And then
god damn, dude.
Just roasts him, dude,
like a fucking piece of meat.
Further than that, what does Harv kind of stumble into as he's burning on fire?
What is it? Oh my god, he like runs in like a tank, like a bunch of propane tanks or some shit, dude. Like it's like why? Yeah, there's, oh my god, like of course there would be some sort of like means to explode, you know, like, and that's exactly what fucking happens. So like the epic shot of like the store exploding because of those propane tanks and Harv, and like Eric just getting flung out of the fucking office, like swan diving down off the fucking side of the
on fire
rail,
again.
You know? Again. This is crazy. It's so wild. But then to top that, you even have like another step up where, as we said, Buzz and Susie found that radical ass motorcycle with the sidecar in the middle of the mall. They just roll up next to Peter and Melody. Peter and Melody both hop in the fucking sidecar, and the four of them gun it out the fucking front doors of the mall.
Yeah, they make it out. They make it outside with 7 seconds left to spare, but that was so great.
It was so great. And the fact that it was like Pauly Shore leading the charge. He's driving the fucking motorbike. You know?
He's the hero.
He's the fucking hero. And so good.
And then the mall just fucking, you know, the bomb goes off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just completely destroys the fucking mall.
Yeah. Then we get, you know, obviously there's sometime later, there's cops and reporters on the scene. Peter and Melody embrace and they kiss. You know, and then the movie ends kind of like on a note that you would expect. You know, it leads you inside. You can see some of the aftermath of the carnage. You see Eric's badly burnt body covered in rubble. The camera pans up towards his face, and it looks like one of his eyes is like his good eye, like barely starts to open as the end credits start to roll.
Yeah, it's, you know, classic kind of ending for this story.
Oh, totally.
But holy shit, man, what a fucking wild ride this one was. Like, dude, honestly, just like all over, this movie was great. Like
it met every expectation that I had for it and surpassed. Like, I'm just you know, because when we decided on this, I was like, you know, I've been looking forward to this for so long. Like, am I going to be let down? Mm-hmm. You know, is it going to be awful, or is it going to be one of those movies that's like so bad it's good, or how's this going to lie? And
Yeah.
so when you had watched it first and texted me and said, "Hey man, like you're in for a good time," like I was like, it's just like I said, it's way better than it has any right to be.
It's just so fucking good, man. I like I said, I've watched this like through a good couple of times now because I've just been like, I don't know, it's just one of those you can put on, and every time you look at it, there's something either entertaining, funny, or like redonkulous happening, and so you're just like, but overall though, if you had to give this like a solid rating, what would you give it?
I think that I would give it 7.5. Fuck. I don't know. 7.5. You go first.
All right, I got it. I would definitely give this movie, I would say I'd give it a 12 out of 14 roundhouse kicks in the dirty mall lair.
Yeah, some roundhouse kicks. Okay. I think I would give it 7 out of 10 unnecessarily long obligatory nudity sex scenes.
Dude, it's so many.
Out of 10, because those scenes, bro. God, what's the point? Like,
There's no point. Especially because like he's pointed out, like 2 of them were pretty much like the same sequence, and like
it's overkill.
Just enough. Either way, though, I cannot recommend this enough to people now. Like, this movie's highly entertaining. It's fucking hilarious. What a weird spin on the Phantom of the Opera. Like,
it's also like super rare to see it on streaming. You know what I mean? I've been trying to watch this movie forever, so now is a chance to see it, and I would take advantage of that if you're listening.
Yeah, it's on Shudder. Get after it, man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, yeah, hell of a good pick. Well, we got a couple. We got another movie coming up for next week's episode, and after that, we'll kind of establish further. Yeah,
because in 2 episodes it'll be episode 60. So yeah, I feel like for the immediate future it'll probably be just sticking to the Monster a Week format. But I feel like we have something. There's so many things that that ideas I have that Anyway, yeah, we got things in the pipeline, so we're gonna keep it rocking. That's without question. So
yeah, damn right. All right, well, hey, corn dogs, hot dogs. If you're a dog, make sure you follow along. I gotta do the obligatory plug. Follow us at Old Heart Radio. Listen to the fucking podcast. You know it. We got WacArnold's Brothers. We got Under Further Review. We got Matinee Edition. And what's the other one? Mold Brain Radio is starting to churn shit out too. So there you go.
Yeah.
Damn, man. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next one too. The next movie I think we have set aside is another one I've been kind of having my sights on. So definitely looking forward to it.
Yep.
Oh man. All right. Well, we'll leave it there for you.
Yeah.
You know what?
Soon.
Watch that fucking horror, everybody.
Yeah, please.